It's Monday the 16th of March 2026, and it's Magic Monday live. And here I am about to share some wisdom and about a moment. I want to talk about a moment, and I want to talk about words and the impact of words, particularly with customer service. So let's click the buttons and let's get started. Are you ready? Let's go!
It's the start of the week. Grab your coffee cups. It's Magic Monday Live.
Magic Monday Live. First of all, what were you doing exactly 1 year ago today? I was on my way to Wembley. We're on our way to Wembley. We were singing that. We were on our way to Wembley because we were going to watch Newcastle United win the Carabao Cup. Yes! That's what I was doing a year ago today, but I'm not talking about that today, other than I've had some lovely messages from friends, particularly my friends who were with us and who we went with. It was so good. Of course we were with us. We went with them. You know what I mean? Sending little videos of that day and how brilliant it was. It truly was one of the greatest days of my life. However, today, we're not talking about the Carabao Cup. We're not talking about Newcastle United. We're not talking about any football teams. We're talking about what happened at the weekend. So this weekend, I took my mum out for Mother's Day, as you do, yeah. And she wanted to have an afternoon tea. So rather than a lunch or a dinner, she wanted an afternoon tea. So we went to a place that we knew did a really good afternoon tea, and they do. And unfortunately, I'm not going to name them. And you'll see why in a moment why I'm not going to name them, which is such a shame because I would love to have named them because the afternoon tea was particularly delicious. But I want to talk about the little incident that we had when we arrived at the particular place. So we'll have a lovely drive, and just as we pull into the place where this particular venue is, there's a front door, and right outside the front door, it's a nice little path, but there's a van parked. And I was like, you know, when you look and you think, I wish that van would move. It'd be perfect for us to park there. And just at that moment, it was like the parking gods must have gone, yeah, you need this space? No problem at all. There's a guy in the van. He indicates, gives me a little wave, and out he goes. I thought, oh, it's absolutely fantastic. So I pulled into that space, got my mum out, and we just kind of going very slowly into the venue. It's a lovely place. And we knew the person who was at the reception. So we have a little chat with him. And while we're chatting to the guy who's at the reception, there was another member of staff just stood off just to the side. And you know when somebody wants to say something and they get a bit animated about it and they start going up and down on the balls of their feet? You know that? Just waiting for their moment. Not now. Oh, again, right. Just kind of building themselves up. And bobbing. So I'm going to call this person Bob. So Bob was bobbing. And I'm not going to say whether Bob was male or female, but she was bobbing. And at that very moment, as I'm watching the bob, the lovely guy at reception said, would you like to go through for your tea? And we said, yeah, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. And just as we started to turn, Bob went and sprung into action, eyeballed me, pointed at the window outside and said, you can't park there. Now, I don't mind whether you can or you can't park. That is not the thing. But in front of my mum, when we're going out for a Mother's Day treat, and to say, you can't park there, just felt a little bit, it kind of sucked the atmosphere a little bit. So I said, okay, no problem. He says, you can go to the car park around the back. I thought, yeah, I know where the car park is. I'll go around there. So I go to the car park, and the car park's full. So I couldn't really go to the car park. That's by the by. I end up doing that thing where you park in the middle of the car park. You know, when you've got cars on either side, you park in the middle and hope that everybody's going to be good enough drivers to be able to get out. So we so I park the car. I go back in and pick up my mum, and we go in to have a afternoon tea. And she said, I told her there was a van there before you, and I told her that the van said to park in there. I said, oh mum, it's absolutely fine, it's all right. She goes, well, it isn't really. And I thought, you know what, she's right, it isn't really. And it's not about the actual message, it was how it was relayed. Now, what else could Bob have said? Bob could have said, excuse me, just before you go through, I wonder if you would mind just putting your car in the car park. It's just around the corner and it's just 2 minutes to come back in. That would have been no problem at all. That's fine. And we get this a lot, don't we? Now, when you think about it, customer service at the moment in the UK is at an all-time low. We think we're getting better, but we're not. So when the bar is so low, to be able to get over the bar should be so easy, especially with a few things like language, words, choices of words. So I wrote a few down. I've just got them over here. I was going to print this out today. Then I thought, no, see if I can do it without printing it out, for goodness sake, Michael. So I've got some words here. Options. Checking into a hotel. Your room's not ready. Have you ever had that one? What about, we're making sure your room is perfect. I'll let you know when it's ready. Same thing, different emotional response. But here's another one. You need to join the queue. You need to join the queue. You ever had that one? You need to join the queue. What about, excuse me, would you mind just joining the queue and we'll get through you as soon as possible, or get to you as soon as possible, something like that. You see, the challenge is that your brain hears tone before it hears logic. The logic was that they need that space outside for whatever reason. Still don't know. There's no signs there. I'm a little bit puzzled, but never mind. I'm over it. But the thing that was very interesting was, but because you immediately make a decision, that's because your brain is hearing the tone before you hear the logic. It's just how we're wired. We can't help it. It's millions of years of evolution designed to protect us, and now getting a little bit miffed because somebody told you can't park somewhere. Rather than thinking about it's there to protect us. It's there to protect us from saber-toothed tigers and stuff like that. It's the amygdala. It can't help itself. It just, does things. Speed of light. Doesn't analyse the context. It just goes straight in and it just says, I feel a threat. And the little alert thing goes off. I've got another couple of examples here. Where are they? Airlines. There's a classic one. Have you ever had the situation where they, rather than saying you need to move your bag, a smart airline will say, would you mind popping your bag under the seat for me? That's the other thing they say, for me. Would you mind popping your bag under the seat for me? How much better is that than you can't have that on your lap for landing? I've had both. I know which one I prefer to hear. I call these little choices of words wee wows. In customer service, they're wee wows. When you get them right, they put a small deposit in the emotional bank account. So rather than next, excuse me, how may I help you? Yay. The next one is you're wrong. You haven't had that one? You're wrong. Let's take a look at that. Might be another way to say it. We can't do that. Rather than here's what we can do. Little choices, big consequences. And here's the thing. Most often the person who created that by saying it has got no idea that they've done it. And that's why you need to have superscripts, little things that you say in a certain way. Now, if they know, let's go back to where we started off, that you're not allowed to park in a particular place. If you know that, why wouldn't you have a little script that you could say, that you could practice? Yeah. Oh, where am I up to then? So yes, so I'm going to be positive. I am going to be positive. I am definitely going to be positive. I think there's a great opportunity, a brilliant opportunity for people just to step up with their language, with their words, with their choice of words. And if we choose better words, we will definitely get better outcomes. Should we see who's here? Yes. All right then. Okay. So I've got Patrick Rooney. Good afternoon from Brightlingsea. Hello, Patrick. How lovely to see you. I've got Andy Heps. Oh, now what's he got to say about this? An 86-year-old woman who says that other people need a blue badge. Not her. Really, ma'am. I know. Here's Craig. Good afternoon, Michael. From Craig, Lisa and Carly. Great message for a Monday, as always. Be positive in action, words and approach. Let me tell you a little bit about Craig. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about my dear friend Tam had unexpectedly passed away, and Craig is his son. And I've got to know Craig a bit over the last couple of weeks. Obviously knew of him, but I didn't know him that well. What a remarkable person, Craig, you are. And the funeral's going to be in a week and a bit, and Craig sent me his eulogy. I said, Michael, would you mind having casting? I think he said something like a critical eye over it or something. God, it's unbelievable. It's amazing. It truly, truly is. The message, talk about getting that balance right between a little bit of humour, capturing a person, reminiscing, covering all the key parts of somebody's life. Craig, you are going to do your dad proud. Sorry. Doesn't it get you at the strangest of times? As a little tip for you, Craig, if you should suddenly get a little bit emotional, stop, breathe. Breathing is your friend. Okay, here's Fiona Secchi. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Michael. I've joined late, so I need to watch the first part. Out of context, this won't make any sense at all, Fee. It really won't make any sense. But yes, watch the first part. Watch the first part, and then you'll know what the second part was all about. It's 11 minutes past 12 on Monday, the 16th of March, and let's wrap this one up. Thanks very much, everybody. I think I need to go and have a little 5 minutes, just do a little bit of breathing. And remember, choice of words. It's all about our choice of words. See you soon. Bye.